I've lost 180 pounds with a combination of carnivore, keto, and counting calories. I reached my goal in November of 2022, and over the past year and a half, I've noticed the scale went up about 8 pounds. Let's experiment with carnivore and counting calories and see what improvements I can make. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Well, it's that time again. We got to make our burgers. So when I did this before, it made 18 days worth of food. I double foil my pans because these are full sheet cake pans. Because people ask me things, I always forget them. This is 13 by 18 is the size of this pan. And I can get 12 burgers. But now I'm going to go ahead and wrap these up with the aluminum foil. Go, Terry, go. Look at me. I'm just zipping along. I buy the aluminum foil, the heavy duty, 18-inch wide, because by the time you tuck it in, it fits. So if you can remember the foil, this is 18-inch long. So if that helps you remember the size of my pan. So now we get our burgers. Hang on. We're going to do 6 packs of these 12 these burgers. These are the 85%. I like these because they fit my macros. And if you question whether or not, there's weird ingredients, it's 100% pure beef. So it's what it says, so that's what I go by. And so I'm going to be making 6 packages today. So whatever 6 times 12 is, that's how many burgers we're going to be making. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to season them or not. I like the fact that I season them, and then on work day, all I have to do is just pull a package out. I like that fact. But it would be nice if I could season them all, with whatever I wanted to. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do yet. So, we'll see. But then what I do is I do 4 rows of 3. And it's funny. These are shaped differently every time. Sometimes I can get them to fit in this way. Sometimes they all kind of have to hang out. I have gotten twice over the years of using these, because I've used these since the beginning of my journey, just not every time. Sometimes I get bored with texture. I never get bored of the ground beef because I can do so much with it, but sometimes I've gotten bored with the burger texture, so I've switched over to ground beef. But anyway, but I've been using these since I started in 2019 off and on. But twice over the years, I have gotten a package with 13 burgers. It just happened this last time I meal prepped, so that was pretty fun. But anyway, and sometimes you get them where they're stuck together, so you have to get a knife to poke them apart. I have my oven preheating to 400 right now, and I usually do 30 minutes on one side and 10 minutes on the other side, and that usually gets them pretty good. Then, I'm just telling you what I do. Then I let them just reabsorb the rendered fat and rendered moisture. I let them sit for about 20 minutes, and then they reabsorb all that moisture and that rendered fat. Because, hey, if I'm going to have to get charged by my app for the fat that's in 85% ground beef, I want full credit. I want to eat that. Let me grab something. I'll show you something. So let's say I do want to season them. I take water and I kind of wet the tops of the burgers because that helps the seasoning stick. Right now they're just frozen solid into a sheet of ice. So there's no moisture on these whatsoever. So what I've done recently is if I want to season them, because I used to not season them either. So this is some Greek seasoning. I'm just going to go this route. Just want to sprinkle a little bit on there. Because, see, they are at an angle, so if they're bone dry, then the seasoning is not going to stick. It's just going to slide right on down unless you give it little moisture to cling to. So, alright, so that's Greek seasoning. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. And mine are not perfectly clean, and I'm okay with it. But if you need to make your own, oh, for heaven's sakes, please do. Because I know we all have our own needs, and, my needs are different than your needs. So, if you have like some kind of health issue or addiction issue and you have to use perfectly clean ingredients, I 100% support you. So that was Kinder's Caramelized Onion Butter. And this is going to be Weaver's Farm Dust. Man, I tell you all have got me into seasonings. Like I haven't used this in a little while. You all have recommended seasonings to me. Some of you all have sent me seasonings. And I love you for it. I love seasonings. I was never a seasoning person. Growing up, we didn't, Mom just used the usual. Nothing wrong with it. Garlic powder, onion powder, stuff like that. And so I didn't grow up with a lot of seasoning in my life. And so when I came to carnivore, that's how I use seasonings, is to, when you eat the same thing every day, you get tired of eating the same foods. So when I went carnivore, that's whenever I learned to use seasoning as, where'd my Greek seasoning go? That's how I learned to use seasonings to make things taste different. But again, you do what supports your needs and don't just do what I do, because like I said, I'm I hear proper human diet and ancestral and all these terms thrown around, but you know what? I'm eating the proper Terri diet. So whatever Terri is okay with, that's what Terri's going to eat. So if you're not okay with certain things, you got to eat what's best for you. So don't just look at me and be like, okay, Terri's eating this, that, and the other, so I better eat that too, because we are all physically individuals. We have our own ancestors. My ancestors come from various places. A lot of German. There's a little bit of Denmark, European, England, so we all have our own physical needs. So you got to do what's best for your physical needs. So, and some of us, like me, ruined our metabolism from all of our binge eating. So anyway, so now I ain't gonna wait till it's the beat, because I ain't got time for all that. So now we're gonna put this in there, and we're gonna tell Alexa to set a timer for 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes, and I always forget which one comes from what shelf. So I'm going to help Terri out and just pull one out at a time. And we're going to get them flipped. Just one at a time, gently going to flip them. I find that if I can flip them onto each other, instead of flipping them flat into the thing, there's much less splatter. So by doing that, it's a much less messy event for flipping them. Floop, floop, floop. For the record, my oven just beeped that it was 400 degrees. So see, I just ain't got that kind of time. And I think 400 degrees, the first batch always gets done just fine. But, so now I'm going to add some of my campfire seasoning on it. This is a little more chunkier than farm dust. It's got chunkier salt. And there we go. So now, this is how it's going to go down. That worked just fine. So I have to rotate them in my oven because my oven, the bottom cooks faster than the top. So if I do 30 minutes and then flip them, and then 10 minutes, I flip and then put the top on the bottom and the bottom on the top, it really works out well in my oven. But trust me, ovens vary. So, because some of you guys have asked me about, you know, about what I set my oven on for cooking my carnivore cakes, and some of you have said that yours cooks faster and whatnot. So, oven times definitely vary. I get these Weaver. This one's Campfire and Farm Dust off Amazon. I have an Amazon storefront, so if you ever want to see some of the things I use, I'm usually pretty good at keeping it up to date. So, all right, see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so the oven timer has gone off. I'm going to pull them out and let them reabsorb the rendered moisture and fat, and we'll let them sit out for about 20 minutes. Leave it sitting right there. So for 20 minutes they will reabsorb the rendered liquid. You can see it's quite a bit of liquid, and you'll see how much it reabsorbs after 20 minutes. So I'll be back in 20 minutes. All right, it has been 20 minutes, so we need to move these over to here, and I'll show you just a second. While these are cool enough to baggy, it's going to take longer to baggy these than what time I have, because I want to go ahead and get another batch going. So I want to lay these out to get them all cooled off, I want to lay these out so then I can go ahead and get a next batch going, and then we'll get these baggied up. So this is just what I'm going to do. Just pulling them out of here, and I'll show you how much moisture it pulled out. See, it's not a lot of liquid. I'm trying here. You can see that way. It's not a lot of liquid left back in there. So now I'm going to pull the other burgers out. I've kind of made a little wall around them. And I don't even need this. Yeah, I might. There's still a little warmth to them. This one doesn't have, I don't think, any liquid down in the bottom of it. But what you can do with this rendered liquid at the very end, the extra chunks of meat, you can scoop that together, because there's going to be quite a bit. After you do 6 packages of burger, there's quite a bit. And what you can do is take that and then collect it in a Ziploc bag or something, and you can use that for for a starter, or for in the broth, or whatever you want to do it. Like if you're going to do a pork beef roast or something. But see, this one has about that much left over. So, all right, I'm going to do the same thing again, and when these cool a little more, then we'll put them in a baggie. But I need to go ahead and get another round going. So of course, ignore that. That's another video. So one bag. I don't know how I got off last time, but looks like I can get 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it looks like I'm going to get 5 bags of 3 and 5 bags of 2. So this is how I'm bagging them up. I'm just putting them in Ziploc baggies. And I'm just going to leave this this foil, placemat right here. And so this is how I'm going to baggie them up. Now the way I do my burgers is I will keep a 4-day rotation in my refrigerator at all times. So I'm going to show you an example right here. Give me just a second. Take these 2 right here. Oh, hey. I was off. Well, no. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Anyway, it don't matter. So let's say you got 4 days right here, okay? This is day 1. I take this day 1 and I eat it. And then I move this day 2 forward, 2, 3, 4, and I take 1 out of the freezer and I put it in the back. Next day, I eat day 1. I move them all forward. I move the frozen one to the back. So it's a constant rotation, and eventually, by the time I eat day 4, it will have been defrosting for 4 days. So it's just a constant rotation. Eat, move forward, add 1 to the back. So that's my rotation. Now I got to figure out what number I was on over here. So give me just a second. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, I did math wrong. That's all right. I'm always known for mathing wrong. So 3, 2, 3, 2. So I'm going to have 1 extra. So I'll have 9.5 days. It looks like what I get. So I'll just put this single one in a Ziploc bag. And yeah, so that's going to be the way I'm going to work things out. I'm going to baggie them up. And then I'll put all the 2 burger bags in a bag, a Ziploc bag, and the 3 burger bags in a Ziploc bag. And every day, whenever I pull out for the rotation, I'll pull out 1 3 burger and 1 2 burger. I could put them in groups of 5, but if I do that, then whenever I pull them out, later, future Terry's going to have to remember to separate them. And, you know, it's the middle of the week, and whenever I do these, and I don't have time to remember, okay, I need to pull some out. That's too much work. The purpose of meal prep day is to set future self up for success. And I can reach in and grab out a pack of 2 burgers and take them to work. And I can reach in and grab a pack of 3 burgers. So it's all about what's going to help your future self. If you're working out of the house, if you're working from home, you got kids running around, it's not easy to try to think and process and figure. So that's why I take this one day and do it for myself. And when I'm done, this will be enough. I believe it was either 18, 17 days, something like that. So I will not have to think about my main part of my meals for 17 days. What I personally do is keep the old baggies that I have in my freezer. I hang on to them. And this says seasoned in ×3. So I'll know that I take all the triple burgers and I will put them in there. And so when I go in each day to get a burger, whether it's 2 or 3, I'll look on the bag and it will tell me how many's in it. So like this says burgers ×3. This one says seasoned burgers ×2. So I'll pop these in here. And what I do, I have them lined up this way in the freezer. Well, I'll line it up based on you. And I go 1 and 1. Stick it in my refrigerator, away I go. So I'm going to go on and plop these in the freezer. And I'll show you everything whenever we're all done. And because I have 2 more rounds to go. Okay, just in case you want to see. Now we've moved on. This is actually the 3rd round. I've already done this twice. So now we're moving on to the 3rd round. And I'm just going to get all the burgers out of the bag. But I don't know, you might want to see how I do it after, the goo. I say goo. After all that rendered liquid, it's now starting to stay in the pan because it's it's collecting down there. And you will come across some that are kind of pretty stuck together. But all right, let me get the other one. Hang on. It's something you want to be careful about as you are messing with the, after you've done this once or twice. Something you're going to want to be careful with is that don't just plop the burgers in because, that liquid's down in there and it's going to splash you. So be careful with it. Don't just do something, because I've done that a bunch of times, so don't just plop them in there. And I seasoned up the other one, so I might as well season up the other 2 batches I've seasoned up, so I might as well season these up too. I get a little more wild with my seasoning as I go along, because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. But also remember, there is going to be seasonings at the bottom of your pan. So all the seasonings you put in it collect down there. Which is why if I season my food, I do not save that stuff for the dogs. Because my stuff often has onions in it or something, and stuff that I don't want my dogs to have. Alright, so now into the oven for 30 minutes. And I'll see you all in 30 minutes. I'm going to do something you all don't typically see me do. There is a lot of good rendered juice down in here. So I'm going to pour it into this one just so I'm only working with one container. I'm going to gently kind of guide these chunks in because I don't want to tear the foil, because now I have to find the edge because I don't want to dirty up the thing underneath. Now this is ready to go to the trash. What I typically do after I'm done cooking, there's nothing in here. There's no nothing tore. So I take a bleach wipe and I just kind of wipe the inside out of it. Not because food's getting inside of it, but just because, I want to put it away and know that if my hands touched around on it and got anything on it. So now I wipe it off with bleach and I put it away. But this is what I don't typically do, but I just kind of feel like doing today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it with this hand or not. We'll try it. I'm going to pour this rendered liquid into this bowl. And then I'm dirtying up more than what I need to, but I think it's the only way I can do it with control. I think if I were to pour straight from this to a jar, I'd have a mess on my hands. So this is just kind of the best way I can do it right now. All right, and so again from here, I'm going to let this go and bring that in. And again, I'll wipe this one out with the bleach wipe. This has the potential to be a disaster, but All right. I'm going to pour this into here. We just needed one. I didn't need a second one. So, what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to get a, hang on, I'll show you. All right, so I've got a sticky note, Post-it note, and I'm just going to kind of tear it to make it fit. It ain't going to be perfect or pretty, but I don't care. I'm just going to make it be about the size of this ring. All right. now we're going to put it on here. I'm going to pop this in the freezer. I do not screw this down. I'm going to write on here beef. Wait, I'm going to put use for beef roast. Seasoned. So this way, first I will put it in I'm going to put this in this freezer right here until, and like I said, I don't screw the lid on. I just set it on there so I don't lose it. And then I let it freeze. When this freezes, it expands up. So you don't want to screw the lid on or else it will break. It'll shatter the glass. So I'm going to, hang on, I'll show you. You see all these broths I have in there already? These are all frozen solid. Like this says clean beef broth, clean beef broth, clean beef broth, seasoned chicken broth, seasoned chicken broth, and seasoned chicken broth. So I've got all kinds of broth there, so I really didn't need to do it. Plus I got more in the freezer, or in the other freezer, but it is what it is. So I done did it. So, and even up here I got this seasoned, I did this last time. Seasoned 85% burger juice and fat. So I could put it in this, but I ain't going to. I'll just stick it up in here and let it go. So this is why you guys see me toss out. Oh, look at you. You're way down there. Sorry about that. This is what I was talking about. I saved this one last time. But this is why you guys see me throw my broth out so much when I'm making stuff. Because I already have tons of broth already. I don't need more. But I get in this freezer every day for my creamies. So I'll screw this lid on in a couple days when I know it's frozen solid. But that's how I've done all these other frozen broths. You can also, I know some of you all say you put it in a Ziploc bag. I've done that too. So I've got some frozen flat broth up there. I get so much broth because I cook so much. But anyway, so yeah, if anybody lives around me and you need some beef broth, holler at your girl. But yeah, so that's it. So now I've got a few more burgers cooling, and then we'll package those up and I'll show you the fruit of our labor. All right, this is it. These are all the 2s. These are all the 3s. So I just start putting them. I have a Ziploc bag. It says seasoned burgers times 2. So that lets me know that all the burgers inside this bag are the 2s. So now I'm going to go through and I'll bag up all the 2s. I have 2 Ziplocs so I can kind of divide them up a little bit. I actually need to put 2 in the refrigerator. So let me do that real quick. Hang on. So let's redo this a minute. Hang on, let's think about this. So that was 2 of those, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 15 bags of 2 because I might have to redistribute something. So I'll put my 2s, 2 times 15. Alrighty. And let's see how many of these 3 bags I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, hey, 14, 15. But, so technically I made enough for 15 days. But 2 of them had to split up, so, but that's all right. So now I'll show you, I take the 3 and a 2. This is just my OCD, guys. It's just how my brain works. And then a 3 and a 2. You all do what works best for you, okay? I'm going to turn it this way. Because I like the nice side out. I've cut myself on the other thing. So anyway, so every day I'm going to pull out a 3-pack and a 2-pack every single day. And this is, I'll show you where I keep them. See this right here? This is where I keep them. Ignore all the stuff in the fridge.
I'm not eating none of that stuff. So I have a 2 and a 3, a 2 and a 3, a 2 and a 3. I only have 3 days. I need to pull out another one, but I'm gonna wait and I'll probably do it tomorrow. But so then I put the most current, the newest one right out of the freezer on the side here. So I pull these 2 out for the day. I scoot those forward and I rotate it around and put in 2 new ones. So that's how I keep my meat always in rotation. And then I have other things that I can add. You know, I can add some cheese. I don't add the pickles right now. Those are still from before I started Carnivore. Got cottage cheese and yogurt if I want to. I got my purse bacon. Got my cheese. I do use my Fairlife milk. But anyway, so you know that's how I can use them and what I do. So, all right, it's been a full day. All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna get this put away, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.